What about, I mean, did they hold the boldness against you? I mean, was there a feeling that perhaps in the 24th century, which is when this thing is...
Right, yes, that came up at the very first press conference. A reporter asked Gene Roddenberry, look, you know, it doesn't make any sense. You've got a bald actor playing this part. Surely, by the 24th century, they will have found a cure for male pattern baldness. And Gene Roddenberry said, no, by the 24th century, no one will care.
Oh, good remark. Eh?
It was one of the nicest things that's ever been said about men like me.
Well, but nobody cares. You're fashionable now, aren't you? You're, in fact, ahead of fashion.
Yeah, and it was nice for a while when I saw all of these shaved heads, but it began to irritate me, frankly. You know, when somebody has a magnificent head of hair that, honestly, when I was 19, I would have loved to have had. And they shave it all off, and I feel that somehow they're kind of infringing on my territory a little.
Is that when you lost your hair, at 19?
19, it all happened within the space of a year. It was horrible. It was horrible. I thought everything was over. Especially, you know, one aspect of my life.
Ladies.
Finished.
Was it?
Nobody's going to want... Was it? Over?
Yeah, and that time, not later. I know it wasn't later, but was it?
You know nothing, Michael. You're making it up. No, it actually wasn't. But I felt I was inhibited by it. Yes. I would have been bolder in my relationships with young women than I was.
Yes. Well,
and it was probably all for the best.
Absolutely. I think we should be circumspect when we're 19, actually, but we used to have a lot of problems. But did you have you had a flap, didn't you? You had the old Bobby Charlton.
Yeah, I did. And I wore hats all the time, caps, especially if it was windy. Because, you know, the thing would happen. I mean, that was always so silly about Bobby, wasn't it? I mean, the worst possible job he had for having one of those shoulders. Shall I tell you how I lost it?
Yeah.
There was a man who had been at school with me, at drama school, Hungarian. He was older than the rest of us. He'd run his own theatre in Budapest, came out in '56. And he was a man of strong personality and a good, loyal friend to me. He was also a judo black belt. He was very short and very powerful. He invited me, and his wife invited me for lunch one day. And we had lunch. It was very nice, bottle of wine. And the two of them got up at the end of the lunch, and I thought they were going to make coffee or something. And all of a sudden, I was grabbed from behind by George, this big, powerful man. And I thought he was playing some kind of game, so I was laughing and joking. And then his wife appeared in front of me with a pair of scissors. And I knew in an instant what she was going to do, and I began to scream and shout, and now it was serious. I was fighting. I mean, I was fighting to keep my appearance, and she lifted it up and she cut it all off. And then George, he worked his way out, still holding me. He came around and he knelt down in front of me and he said, now you be yourself, no more hiding. And he was right, because I used to walk like this. You know, because I was embarrassed about this thing, and so I couldn't stand up properly. You know, it was not only inhibiting as a person, it was hopeless if you're an actor, of course.
Yes.
You know,
so you have to wear a toupee, do you?
I did, yes. I never wore one socially.
Yes.
But I used to wear it when I went up for jobs. The one occasion that it rebounded on me, I got an audition for the National Theatre for Laurence Olivier, and I went down to their little setup there they had down at the Cut in Waterloo. And I did what I always did. I wore the toupee to the audition so I could put it on myself. It was really good. It looked entirely natural. And I went in and I did my first piece with the toupee, and he was sitting there right in front of me, and it was a nerve-wracking experience. You can imagine, you know, young actor. And I finished it, and I started to explain what my second piece would be. And as I did that, I started doing this, you see, with my fingers, and I'm talking to him all the time, and I unclip from the back, and I take it off, and I put it down on the chair beside me, and I start my second piece. Well, I can see immediately that I haven't got his attention. He's looking down here, like this. And when I'd finished, he said, do it again. And I said, you want me to do one of the pieces again? He said, no. Take that off and do it again. Put it on and take it off. And I did, and he said, marvellous, that's marvellous. And I swear it was the only thing about my audition he remembered.
So it was obviously storing it away in case sometime he had to do...
I waited for the moment in one of his performances when he would do something like that. But, you know, those days are now past, and I can relish what I have.